Okay, folks, here it is. This is the top mat, the trailer behind the mini mat that we ran all this gold behind, and no one likes the bull crap, so we got a lot of nice soap in there so the gold don't float off. But I just wanted to show you guys this because this is what Old Davy's up against. We got such fine gold, it's already floating off that sand right now. It's in there. See it floating off? Yeah, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. But it's just back there. See it floating now? See that gold floating? So there's the gold. See it floating? That is the gold. And I know the miller table would just wash this away. It wouldn't even stick around. So there it is. There's the gold. That one flake right there. That one flake, and now those specks is what we picked up behind. Look at it float off. Isn't that cool? See it floating? Anyway, so now that we've seen it in the pan, I'm going to actually try and drop it on the miller table to see if that makes a difference along with what I panned off. That's in the safety pan. Drop it to an 1/8 inch screen and see if we can, it'll catch it. Maybe it'll just blow it away. Well, there's the second trailer mat. Look at that fine stuff float off there. A lot of that's just dirt. There's that. There it is coming into focus. Nothing's perfect. Of course, I'm going to run this through the miller what fell off in the safety pan over to miller table to see what I missed. There it is, folks. There's the gold that was caught in, including the flake that we seen earlier. Actually, there's two flakes that we seen in the pan. I screened it all out and dumped it over to the miller table, and there it is. There's the gold that we lost out of the 6-inch mini mat that in the first 8-inch by 36-inch mat that we picked up. And I'll run the other mat behind that one. And we'll see what it is. Cool. So there's the gold. Finally, a focus. That we picked up in the second mat. Using the miller table to get it off. There it is. Had to put this little chunk here to get the camera to focus because it was just like going gray on the surface. Cool. So there's for the group. The gold that I got all on my pay dirt. I would call this all gold because it's sticking to the miller table. The miller table. Here's some pay dirt from Marty. This is what he calls, I guess, what he called, the closest thing would be called sweepalloy or miscellaneum, or. You know, basically, he's just said he just cleaned up his shack and he gave it to me. He said, he said there should be some good fun stuff in it. Run it and see what we get. Okay, here's a video of Marty's pay dirt, or Marty's cleanup shed. And got some really bad sunlight contrasting in here, so I had to put a shade up. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. So bear with me. So these are black sands mostly, I guess, from the floor of this cleanup shack and around this cleanup area. That's the guess. So we don't exactly know all what we're going to get in it. Just trying to feed enough where I know I don't have so much black sand that it just goes over the top of the first row of cells, so hopefully we can get a good snapshot of, you know, what we're capturing, so not to overburden it too much, because we want to see it, not wait till we have to pan it out. Yeah, a bunch that time. Oh well, we'll let it blow off the slick plate, work its way through. See what that is. Huh. dirt or something. I actually do think I see a piece of gold up there in the corner. We shall see. Trying to get the little bit of dirt out left at the bottom of the bucket. You know, that's always a pain in the butt with black sands unless you plant it just right. But this stuff in the way is kind of a pain. Alright. I wonder if that is gold over here in this corner. That'd be a nice little round ball of gold. I don't know. I could think that would be lead. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, here's Marty's dirt. I don't know what that is down there, that round ball of something, but I don't know. Probably isn't gold. And you got a nice triangular piece of lead and some crusty stuff. Notice the fine gold. This is beach gold. The beach gold is really a bugger, and we see this in all applications, how fine this beach gold is and how flighty it is. So there we go, focus. So beach gold swept off on the floor off of Marty's cleanup area. We'll have to see how much is in this mat. Now this is the first time we have seen gold down here. There we go. And how far are we going to see it down? Here's some in this little corner. Right above. Okay, where was I going? Okay. Is that gold? Yeah, it is. Right in this corner. There we go. There it is. So, there's some beach gold down there. Down here, we don't see any beach gold. You're gonna see some weird thing that came out of Marty's stuff. So far, I'm looking while the camera's looking also. Haven't seen any speckles of beach gold, not even at the end. So that's good. I bet you there's gold in there though. This beach gold is hard to catch. First pass with anything, it's virtually impossible. Anybody says they can do it, I would challenge them. But anyways, fun stuff. My camera is just not focusing. This is the stuff that Marty sent me from the floor. This was his run. This was the cleanup out of the 6-inch mini mat. The material was in here and I'm almost finished running it. And you can see it's cleaning up pretty good. Got a nice chunk of lead here. Woohoo! So that was interesting. Something from his floor. A piece of magnetite. I actually had some other stuff that I picked out of there. So anyways, it's cleaning out pretty good. There it is, folks. There's the gold from Marty's floor, his cleanup shack, and around the area, his sweep alloy, miscellaneum. Thanks, Marty. Thanks for thinking outside the box. Thanks for running the cube and with the mat in it and showing us what you find. All right. Well, here I am set up to run the last of my pay dirt, and I got Dustin's mat from Australia in there. Got the clean water, and since I got his mat in, I'm going to run the mat, the pay dirt from the Golden Spear Mine, North Queensland, Australia. So I am going to run these two together for first off, and we'll go ahead and we'll put the iPad over since it's clear water, and we'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. I didn't screen this off, the 1/4 inch, so there's a couple big rocks hanging up. So we'll just flip those out of the way. Let them roll on out. As you can tell, my boy just visited me. He was going to sing me some rock and roll songs. He seems to be knowing a lot about that lately. Pretty dark material, as I've noticed, you know, from this pay dirt. I'm trickling it in still. So my boys are 8 and 11, so that means they fight like I would consider wolf pups. What is that? Is that a piece of leaf? Oh, that's the color of the cell my finger's in. It was all black. I thought it was a rock, but it's just black color. Anyways, so there's that pay dirt from Australia. You know, and it wasn't screened off, but there's some stuff up here still in the top hanging up when we brush it out. Alright. Geez, it's hanging up in that behind that reverse riffle. Alright. Cool beans. I'm going to start turning the pump off. It does kind of like a cooler effect. You know, then you get to see the gold in the iPad. I should have did that to all of them. You know, and it's having a hard time focusing. But anyways, cool beans. So here we are seeing some gold in the first cell, second cell, third cell, fourth cell. Working it, looking for some, ooh, look at, there's a piece of gold way down here. It is what it is, guys. Cool stuff. That is some pay dirt from Australia. All right, let's pan it out and see what happens. So here's the cons from the dirt from Dustin. And you can see how much is filling the pan. And I got a lot of black sands, and this thing is like heavy. And I'm going to spin off the magnetics and then show what I have left over, because I'm always telling Dustin I need to send him the spin it off that I got in the shed to him. So anyways, there's the gold from Queensland. I need to pan back through this, see what I missed. Cool beans. Go get my sucker bottle, suck it up, and pan back through this and see what I missed. Well, there's what I missed. And I have to say that this ironstone that Dustin keeps talking about that clogs up the other mats, and you know, it's really hard to pan out. It is really hard. You know, I can see how all this ironstone that's in here, all this stone, can fill those long grooves. Because what happens is when the long groove gets filled, it acts just like a solid bed bottom, and there's no riffle. Especially like if it's a UR mat or something like that, the groove just gets filled and stuff flows over the top of it. But what's nice is when this gets filled with ironstone, you got a constant current coming in and constantly pulling that material to tumble out of there rather than just a line and it filling and packing. So I think that's why, you know, we got so many Dream Mat fans in Australia. But anyways, I missed the pile. Okay, let's run the pay dirt from Robert over there in Sweden. Sweet. The gemstone bag from Robert. So I pulled out screened it off to pull out the bigger gemstones. I know there'll be some smaller ones that will go through the screen, but we're looking for the big ones, and that looks like the big ones. Cool beans. My kids love them. Okay, it looks like I didn't hit the record button for Robert's run. Running that stuff that was like concrete dust and the stuff that was like the gemstone pay dirt all mixed together, and it was kind of murky, and I was talking about it and all this stuff, and it looks like I didn't hit the record button. Okay, so anyways, there it is. That's what it looks like when I hit the button at the end, thinking I was turning the film off. But you can see some fine gold up towards the top. We'll focus in on it more with the camera because you really can't see it with the iPod. It isn't focusing for some reason. Okay, here we go. Fine gold up towards the top. Fine gold. This low light, it's hard to see. Right at the end, I was washing out the tub. In the tub I had the dirt in. And I blew out basically, you know, with all the washing the material out the first row, but I wasn't worried about it. It just exposed the gold that was underneath the dirt. So let's pan this out and see what we got. Well, here's Robert's pay dirt, and as you can see, it just turns into paint up in the corner. Can't focus on it, but anyways, there's the gold from that. That's the first shake. I'll suck it out and see what I missed behind it. It's amazing how much lighter this black sand is than the black sand from Australia. It was like, anyways, it's funny how when you feel something that heavy and you notice the difference. Well, there's what I missed. Just some specks and a little line on the top, which is kind of hard to see. Covered up with some gunk. Alright, some gold from El Dorado Gold. So I'm going to run these two bags together, and then I'm going to run the big bag by itself afterwards at the end. Pretty excited. There's supposed to be a lot of gold in these. 1 in 50 can contain $250 worth of gold. 1 in 50, I think it is. I can't read. Yep, 1 in 50 can contain $500 worth of gold. Woo! I wish I was 1 in 50 twice, but I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, I'm not going to cry. Well, folks, I quite don't know what to say. That's one nice looking rock. This is like, it looks like, just like metal dust. It looks just like pyrite dust. That was a gold nugget. Oh, I just dropped it in there. This is pretty amazing. This has been all milled. Oh my gosh. So, this is going to be fun. See what Dream Mat does, how he captures it, see how it just sparkles. Oh my gosh. This is sweet. Of course, I'm just going to remove this one. Put that up there on someplace where hopefully my kids don't decide to run off with it and lose it. You know, I got kids. Nothing's sacred. Decent. Pretty cool. Let's run this. So there it is. It just looks like bronze colored mud. Look at all the lights, dust just float back into it. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, we're gonna run this. We're gonna see what happens. Woohoo! Exciting stuff. It's just like metallic mud. Look at it. Just nuts. Okay, I'm recording this time, which is good. Holy fuck, this is just like crazy stuff. Woohoo! It is, it's like bronze paint or Play-Doh. This stuff is nuts. I mean, absolutely crazy. I get a picture of this with my cell phone as well. It just like comes out of there completely like it's like it's like metallic. Oh, I'm not recording. It's just like metallic mud. Look at it. Just nuts. just insane. You know, we had some material that we had to dig out a sump. Well, I didn't dig it out. They did. And they brought me all this material that they dug out of an old sump in a mine where they had this, the sump for the main system to supply the water. And then down in that hole was a sump. So and they were underground in a mine, and the sump clogged up. And when they went to dig the sump out, because there was a lot of copper in the mine that they were in, when they went to dig the sump out, it was just like copper mud that had filled the sump hole and bogged the sump pump down and stopped letting it pump. And so they brought it to me to, this was a long time ago, to run through the vortex to see how much gold was in it, you know, along with the copper. And the guy was able to, out of, I don't remember how many 5-gallon buckets he had. I think he had close to 10, but not quite, 5-gallon buckets from the sump. And they all weighed over 100 pounds. It was just amazing. He ran it through my green mini sluice, and he was able to pull off, I don't know, I think it was, he had it, took it to a lab, and the lab did the number on it to say how much gold per ton or whatever was in it, and we did the 8th grade math on our fingers and toes and determined how much gold was supposed to be in that material. And I think it was, if he was to get all the gold out of all those buckets, it would have been just over an ounce of material. And he got a little under an ounce after he smelted all the cons from all the work he did in running the material through that finishing sluice. And that was that green one that kind of looked like it was a rain gutter and had the vortex patterns molded in it. And so it's like the recovery rate is really good. So, I mean, this is just insane. The fine material that this is. This stuff would be so hard to pan. It would drive you totally bonkers. And trying to trickle the water in that I had to, use to get all the material out of my pan and down into my corner of my pan so I could get it in there instead of blowing the material through there with a bunch of water. It's just like paint. There we go. Now we got some material. Get my little snuffer bottle and squirt a little water. It'll be a lot easier. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right, stop. Well, we got some gold up at top there, folks. iPad just can't seem to focus today, but there we go. We got some nice gold. Awesome. Check it out with the phone here a second. All right, let's play the Jaws music. Dun-dun. Look at all that. Dun-dun. How much of it is gold? Well, you'd have to smelt it out. Looks like a lot of it's pyrite, but pyrite's heavy. But with pyrite, there is a lot of gold. We got a nugget that made it to the second row there. I don't know how that happened. And it looks like the rest of them are in the front row. We got a little bit of material left up here. I'll flush that out with them when I grab the pan. But we're gonna pan this out and take a look at this. And this is gonna be great material for, look at that ironstone left over from Dustin's. Just stacked in there. It's funny stuff. But this is gonna be great material for testing the micro mat. And I'm gonna have to hook up somebody to do a smelt on this material and put some fluxes in it and see what we drop off of the material. It'll be an interesting deal. Cool. Well, I had to use the force to get this panned out, meaning I had to focus. I had to close my eyes and meditate because I had to turn the pyrite sands into just black sands in my mind to pan this out because it was just too insane. Look at that pyrite just roll off of there like paint, and it's so glittery and beautiful, but look at that gold. Got a couple chunks of pyrite in there, but they're really heavy, so they may have gold on the backside. In fact, that one, look at it, it has gold on the top of it. Isn't that a trip? Boom, baby. I mean, if my 8-year-old was out here, he'd be all like, boom, baby, and doing that like kind of stance where you kind of point to the sky. I'm telling you, man. There, that's a pan. And this isn't, the boomer bag is yet to come. This is just their regular stuff. So that's some nice gold. Like I said, you know, this pyrite is just, see why they call it the golden pay dirt. You know, it's a trip. But anyways, you know there's some fine gold in all that pyrite, because if they're getting this out of the same source as that, there's gold in there. We just got to smelt it out. There's the big bag that came in the box that I showed earlier. Nice piece of pyrite. We got some other indigenous rock. Indigenous. And then this other rock. It looks like slag. I'm going to set those off to the side. I'm not that crappy, guys. Push. Oh, there, sorry. Look at that. As I push my fingers through here, I can feel the gold. Oh my gosh. You can feel the gold as I push my fingers. Oh, you can't even see my fingers, sorry. So I'm pushing my fingers through here. I can feel the gold nuggets. It is, because you can feel they're heavier when you push them out of the, oh, look at that one right there. Where'd it go? I saw it, there it is. Oh, buddy. Get this wet. There's another one. Get this wet and run it. This is cool stuff. Well, here I go. Let's run the nutso dirt that I sloughed off the water. I got the iPad set up. Let's get the water going. Let's get this baby going. Alright. Why ain't this thing focusing? I think it's a light issue. Alright, well, let's just get some dirt in here. Or should I say, Colombian pyrite mud, metal mud. You know what, friend? Since we're going to tell stories here while we're running this, that was buying pottery in Mexico. Because where the pottery was made in I don't know if it was Mexico or South America. I don't remember, you know. Where the pottery was made, the clay had a lot of gold in it, gold dust. Well, the clay, the dust was of no use to the villagers and the people mining the gold in that area because it was so fine. You really couldn't get it out of all that red clay. So that really red clay. So someone probably knows what I'm talking about or knows where it's at. So the pottery in that area became famous because there'd be so much fine gold in it, it would like make it sparkle. So the tourists would buy it because of all the sparkly gold that they would see in the clay. And I had a friend that would go down there. Well, my Uncle Dave has a friend that goes down there, and he buys pottery when he's on vacation in that area. Brings it home, crushes it up, and melts it out, and gets the gold out of it. Like I don't know if he's using the blue bowl or if what he's using, but you know, and that's just kind of interesting how some areas have such fine gold, and yet they're not even being mined. And people are, it's just interesting stuff. Little campfire story there for you. You know, I know a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend. But I thought that was pretty interesting that they were doing that. See a little piece of gold there as I'm scooping off the surface. I mixed it up pretty good with the water, so you know the gold's going to be kind of at the bottom of the pan, just because it's heavy. Ooh, there's a flake of gold. Yeah, buddy. There's another one. Chunky quartz. You know, that's another thing too. You know, a lot of people in the, I remember I was sluicing once with my Uncle Dave, and he's like, I'm like looking in the sluice and I'm picking out rocks, and he's all like, keep your hand out of the sluice. And I go, why is that? And he goes, well, you disturb that and it loses gold. And I'm always sticking my hand in the dream mat. I've never been worried about it losing gold. Ooh, there's some nice gold. Woohoo! Yeah, buddy. And because of the way that the profile is almost the opposite of what rolling pencils, kicking up material, rolling out the sluice, leaving, rolling, rolling, rolling. Get those dogs a-rolling. Anyways, so everything's always moving, and it's got a rhythm, and it's even got actually what some people call a frequency. It's actually a natural harmonics, and isn't what creates it, but the water creates its own signature of its flow. And so as that stuff is flowing out like that constantly, it's taking the gold out with it. Old Dream Mat here, brings the gold back up, uses the reverse riffle and that vortex finder in every row, every cell, to bring the gold back up and spin it into that cell and hold it, or pin the gold down in front of that reverse riffle. And so every cell breaks that back of migration and stops nature from rolling out all that material that's got the gold in it. And all the other profiles, because they're straight, long, and horizontal, we'll call them. Vertical will be straight up and down the sluice box. Not really horizontal, but across, perpendicular from the flow. They all have that natural tendency. And it is basically a flaw. It is a flaw in physics with every sluice system that uses a straight line perpendicular to the flow across the greatest profile out there in the industry. It is a flaw in physics that allows that vortex, that wave to create itself and aid in migration. And a lot of people say, well, it creates that vortex behind it. And it's like that vortex behind it is so weak compared to actually a reverse riffle on the wall in front of it. And that negative pressure is so weak that it doesn't just suck the gold out and keep it there. Ooh, buddy, look at that nugget. Can't see it. We gotta move this guy. There we go. Woohoo! I'm getting to the end of this here. I'm feeding it pretty fast. So, all those cells, every one of them, all the way down, are doing that and are bringing that to effect. And it's quite the deal. You know, it took a long time to figure out how to make those things work in a way which they weren't fighting what we were trying to do. Got the sledge here. Into the can. Get the snuffer bottle to break the water here. That's some stuff stick underneath that groove in the can paste. Make sure there's a nugget in there or something, you know, that would be bad. Alright, one more time here, sorry guys. Oh, I know you're like ready to fall asleep. Hopefully not. Get all that fine gold. Big gold, we should say. Alright, turn off the pump. I think we have some gold there, guys. Cool beans. Alright. Some nice gold. I would say so. We got a big one and a flat one in the second row there. We got that big flat one sticking up right there. That's just cool stuff. So again, we got that pyrite coming out. Let's come down here and look. Do we see any flakes after all that gold? Even in this first row is where they would be. Makes you wonder what a little bit of that is. Probably from Roberts. Maybe so. So anyhow, there she is. Got that pyrite sand in there. Oh man, that is just some sweetness. Alright, let's put it in the pan. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Can you handle it? Can you handle it? Wow. A couple pieces of pyrite in there. One of them actually has, I was looking at it, has a little chunk of gold on the other end of it. It's got quartz in between, so it's kind of cool. Pretty sweet. All right. What can you say about that? That's the end of my pay dirt. Now I got to do the video, put it together, do a cleanup of this to see if I lost anything on that. Those two runs, and finish drinking my beer, put my stuff away, go to bed. Sweet. Hey guys, thanks for watching me. If you made it this far, for panning out the dirt and just having some fun with Mat, watching it work. Thanks. Now, of course, I want to thank all my pay dirt people, and I'm going to list them all at the end. I'll try and list them in order. We'll see. And then, you know, basically go through the list, thank yous and stuff like that. But thanks a lot, guys, for trading on some dream mats for some pay dirt so we can watch how good the mini mat works. So here's the final take on the gold I retrieved from all of the pay dirt. Here is the gemstones. They're kind of hard to see, even though I put them on the white because it helped. But unless you shine some light in some of these, they're really hard to see what's going on. I had my boys pick these out with a flashlight underneath them, the screen. yeah, so that kind of worked pretty cool. You know, they picked them out. Now they're theirs, of course, because they picked them out. So, got some nice pieces of pyrite and some quartz and pyrite. Anyways, there's the total take from the total job. And we'll talk about how many those were and whatnot at the end. So, a little over 36 grams. Be about 36 because there's a little water in there. It's not dry. That's the gold from the take of the pay dirt, and that's the total weight. So out of, I think, over 10 bags, I got 36 grams. So that's pretty good. The one bag, actually, I won't tell you which one it is, but guarantees over 11 grams of gold, and I think it delivered. It's pretty cool. I had fun. I want to say thank you again to everybody.